Hello there, everyone, and a very happy Monday. I do hope that you're having a great start of the week and that you have something nice planned for the week too. I am awfully sorry about the doubling up on layers. It is very cold. So we did have the marvelous monthly release today, and we are going to be going through these products. If you do share this live stream, you are in the with it. Start again. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Alta New store. The lovely Han is behind the badge today and she'll be popping in all of the links. Thank you so many people for popping in. Hello, I do hope that you're having a really great day, and I'm really happy that you're all sending each other messages. It is really cute just to see that as well. It's pretty cold. It is cold, but okay, we're here, we're good, we're gonna get crafting. So I am gonna pop you guys down so you can see what I'm doing on the tabletop. Watching me do my strange faces when crafting is not the way to go. So I will pop you down. It does take a couple of little clicks. So I am sorry. Thank you to Han for giving me another nudge. If you do share the live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate. But I do believe I've already said that, but it's okay. Just having it said again is not going to hurt. Yes, I hope everyone did have a good weekend. Also, if you do have some good news to share, please let me know. You know, I'm really quite nosy, and I do like to share in everyone's good news. So let us know if you have any. Okay, first up, we have the Build a Garden Rosa Galactica. Gallica, I know I haven't got a T in there, so Gallica, we're going to go with it. And in this, we do get the stamp set, we get the die set, and we also get the simple coloring stencil. In the simple coloring stencil set, you get 6 6x6 stencils. They're all different designs on here, which is going to allow you to add the various layers on to the die. I have to say, sorry, the die doesn't come with the set, the Build a Garden set. You get the stamp and the simple coloring stencil, but you can get the die as an add-on. Sorry, I was a little bit wrong when I said that. You do get these, but if you wanted the die set, you can add that onto your order. So hopefully that makes sense, and I have reinitiated that for you. So you have 2 large images on here, and the simple coloring stencil are going to color these in. If I open this up, you can see that we do have the layering guide within the packaging. So do not throw this packaging away. It's very, very handy and very, very pretty as well. If you didn't have the need for some extremely quick cards, you could always cut these out and they fit the front of an A2 card base perfectly. So that's the Build a Flower Garden. Build a Garden. I keep saying Build a Flower. No, this is upgraded. This is Build a Garden Rosa Gallica. Okay, Craft Your Life project kit. Now, this is on the larger scale. Now, you do get a die set with this kit, but I don't have it. So I have the stamp set, the 3D embossing folder, and also the stencil set. If you order this kit, you'll also get the die set as well. Okay. Oh, Bethany. Yay. We have a newbie crafter. Congratulations. Thank you for joining us. We are sure you're going to love it here. Crafters are the loveliest bunch of people around. So I know that you're going to be in good hands. So for this, we get the 6x6, 6x8 stamp set, the 6x6 3D embossing folder, and also a pack of simple coloring stencils, which is going to allow you to add color to both of the images on the stamp set and also the 3D embossing folder too. So you can see that all of the stencils in the set are different. So that's going to allow you to add different layers to different parts of the stamp and the embossed image. Again, we have tons of inspiration in the little packaging as well as the layering guide too. Yep, Nabil, you get the die in this one as well, but I don't have it. So you get the die, the stamp set, which is a 6x8. You get the 6 simple colouring stencils, and they're all different. They are all 6x6, and the 3D embossing folder, as well as the die set. Okay, then we have the Crafter Flower Water Lily. So this is a very, very pretty one. We have the all of the images that you can see here. This is going to create a beautiful open flower as well as a bud, and then this open kind of floating leaf as well that you get on water lilies. As well as that, you get the hello and the beautiful, which you can cut out of some beautiful glitter cardstock, and then you can then add these to your project. So you do get a sentiment in there as well. As you can see, if I take one of these off, we do have a little embossed number in there. So that's going to tell you which layer that is. And then we also have 2 cutouts on this. So instead of when you have all of your die cut pieces, you layer up the 2 little die cut pieces out. You don't need to worry about anything that's going on around the outside. You don't need to. You just concentrate on these 2 little cutouts. When you line all those up, everything is going to be perfect. Audrey, yes, I think these little cutouts here have converted a lot of people too. So it's such a great and easy way. You can use this to cut out some coloured cardstock. You can use some watercolor cardstock, watercolor your own, or even use scraps of paper that you have lying about that you wouldn't use anywhere else. We do also have the layering guide right on the back of the packaging. So again, don't chuck your packaging away. It is very, very useful. So you can see that we have that there for you to use, but I don't think that you're actually going to need it. With the help of the little embossed numbers that you have on the dies, as well as the little cutouts, I think that you're not even going to look at this once. You're going to just use the dies as needed. Okay, next up we have the Painter Flower Modern Pink Dianthus. And in here we have a large image. This is around 4 inches, 3 inches, I'm going to say. Oops, let's lay it out there. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 inches high and around about 1, 2, 3.5 wide. So it is a really large image. You can use this for all of your favorite coloring mediums. If you want to do watercolors, it looks beautiful. You want to do markers, again, it looks beautiful. And you can even use it for different techniques as well. Hello, everyone that has popped in. So glad to see you on this fine Monday. I do hope that you all had a great weekend. Lastly, in the Marvelous Monthly series, we have the Mini Delight Budding Wallpaper. In this one, it is very, very cute. So we recently changed the size of our Mini Delights to a 3x4 instead of a 2x3. So this means that you're going to get a lot more space on this little stamp set. It's still small, but it's still very, very mighty. So you can use this as backgrounds. You can use this to create focal points. This is a great one to add like little silhouettes as well. So we have the stems, and then we also have the flowers that fit directly onto them. They are lettered, so you can see the B there. The B is going to line up with this, the A is going to line up with the A, and the C is going to line up there. We also have some additional things that you can use on these images if you wanted to use the dies just for single flowers as well. Okay, as well as that, we do have a new set of markers. I haven't actually opened mine. Okay. But they do come in at some really nice packaging. So you are going to have that plastic wrap over there. So you know that everything's going to be nicely secured in your package. This one is the Beach Garden set. We do have lots of these sets. This is set K. So we have them starting from the alphabet on A. In this one, you're going to get the very pretty Sunray Chamomile, Snapdragon, Marigold, Sea Breeze, Turquoise, Tide Blue, Starlight, Silver Lake, Grey Denim, Cloudy Night, and Charcoal Suit. So if you're new to alcohol markers, these are a really great set to buy because you already have 3 different color families sorted out for you in there. So you don't need to kind of work out which blue is going to work with another blue, because with alcohol markers, you need varying tones of the same color to create that kind of a shading effect. So that's already been done for you in here. You have this little sturdy box within here you can use to keep your markers in, or you can keep them in the packaging as well. A lot of people try and store their markers on the side, but I'm one that stores it on the top, and mine still work perfectly, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so let's get on to making some cards. I am, in fact, going to use this one first. It was on the top of my pile, so I am going to give that one a go. I'm going to create a very pretty kind of one layer card. So I have a piece of cardstock, which is 4¼ by 5½. This is classic Crest All the White, and this is the thinner one, so it's 80 pounds, I believe. And I'm just going to line that up on my cutting mat. So this is the cutting mat from Old to New. It's black one side, grey the other, and I always kind of work on this one. Therese, I'm not sure. I can pass that one on to the team to see when those ones will come out. I believe we are getting them, but I don't know when. Okay. So I have some satin masking tape here. Now this is really good tape. It's not very, it is tacky, but it tends not to stick too much to the paper to cause it to rip. But if you are unsure with the tape that you have, I would always suggest that you kind of rub it on your arm. Always do it on the bottom side, because this side can be a little bit hairy. This one isn't so much. So I am just going to do that, and then I'm going to add that on a bit of a diagonal onto my cardstock, and that is going to mask out this area, and that is where I'm going to put my sentiment later on. So the sentiment says, "I'm here for you," and it is going to fit perfectly within there. Okay. So I am going to add some flowers along the top and the bottom of our little strip. Now, when I stamp the stems, they are going to come over this. So I have a piece of scrap paper over to the side as well to use as an extra mask too. As you know, I'm a little bit old school, so I am using my blocks from Old to New, and the color that I'm picking up first from my array of inks that I have along the outside is Lavender Fields. It's not like me, but it is matching my satin masking tape, so I am going to go for it. Now, my ink is sitting okay, but if yours is pooling, I would recommend that you use the stamp conditioning eraser and use that to make sure that your stamps stamp perfectly first time. So I'm just going to stamp that down. You can see that I'm just adding this paper just to make sure that I don't go over. Okay. So I'm going to try and make things go higher and lower. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. I do love it when you guys are here. Let us know if you have any questions. That's what I am here for. Okay, so that is my top layer. I'm just going to switch that one. Now, this technique is an oldie but a goodie. It used to be one of my favorites, but I haven't tended to use it for a while, so I wanted to bring it back. I know that there's like new stampers out there. I know Bethany, I believe it was. She is a new crafter, so maybe this is a really easy technique that you can use. A great one for holiday cards, because you can create lots of cards pretty quickly with this technique. Okay. Okay, so I have that done. Just gonna clean that off slightly. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. If you do share, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Alternate store. I have no idea what is wrong with my talking today, but there's obviously something not happening. Okay, there we go. I've managed to fit that on, and I'm going to go for parrot. Something really bold. Okay, so I'm going to go with parrot. And remember, we're going to try and line up the little inside bit of that with the inside bit. And the little stalk here is going to kind of nestle in this open part of petal there. If you don't get it perfect, it's fine. Just take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. Okay, so inking that up. Lining that up with my block. It's always handy to get right over, but I'm trying not to add in my head under the camera too much. I do have a little bit that didn't stamp, but I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, sometimes the words just don't want to come for me. And I am sorry if I go over everyone. Okay, I am going to go over that and I don't want to. So I'm going to position my piece of paper over there so I can kind of mask off those pieces. There we go. Oh, the new marker set has my heart. I just love those blues. That navy is stunning. And you know, everyone knows I've got a thing for navy, and that is a really good navy. If you could only, right, okay, question for you, everyone. Because, you know, when we get dressed and things like that, we normally go for a color palette. We normally go either like black or navy. If you could only ever wear black or navy, I mean, you can wear all the other colors as well, but this is like your staple color. Would you go black or would you go navy? Okay, so I think that's a good question to ask everyone. Do you have a little black dress that you wear all the time, or do you have a little navy dress? Okay. It looks like everyone's going black. Joan, I see you're with me. I'm with you there. I would go navy over black. Okay. Trying to work out what I did with this one. Sorry if my silver highlights get in the way. But oh. Rosie says every outfit that she has some black in it somewhere. Sherry can't choose. Bethany is with me and Joan, and there's Avril, she's black. Everyone, there's a lot of black out there. Okay, so look how pretty. Some really bright green and that purple. Okay, now there is a little doodad or a center thing for these images, but I wanted to use my markers because it's going to be tons quicker just to grab one of these and add in at that center. So I have the Snapdragon, one of my favorite ink colors. Just the name of it makes me very happy. And I'm just going to dot in those centers. Not worrying too much. If you wanted to add a larger one in, go for it. Add in some more dots. Okay. And I am leaving some white in there as well. Okay, so that is that one. And I'm thinking we're going to add a little bit more depth to the purple. So I've just grabbed ultraviolet, and I think it's from the Water Garden set. Yes. So the Water Garden. This ink here was the Lavender Field. So this is from the very first purple set that we came out with. And I believe it's called Shades of Purple. So I have the ultraviolet, and I'm just going to add in a couple of flicks just from the base. Now you don't have to add this in, but I thought it would be fun just to add in a little more. And I'm just adding my flick right at the base of that petal and then flicking outward. So we have a darker shade at the base because there's more ink there, and then it'll feather out to the tips. There are tons and tons of tutorials on our YouTube page using our artist markers. So if you want an idea on how to use these more, you could definitely go and check out our YouTube page. Also, we do have various classes on the Altenew Academy that features markers too, so you could check those out. So to do that, you go into our store, buy a class, and then it would add you onto Altenew Academy. Okay. So there is that. Let's add in some green too. And I'm not sure what this one is called. It has the greens in. The greens are from the Tropical Forest set. Hey Roxy, we're doing a little bit of everything today. We're going to be using the Mini Delight budding wallpaper, and then we're going to move on to the Craft a Flower project kit. The project kit, not the Craft a Flower, the project kit. I'm just going to add in some darker tones, just kind of the base of those leaves. As you can see, I'm not really paying that much attention. I'm just flicking away. Teresa, no, these ones here, the beach garden, these ones were new today. So the other ones that I have used, the purple one and this green one, would be within the ones that you've already got. But the beach garden were new today. Okay, so I've added in my shading, and you can see just how pretty that looks, just with a little bit of kind of flicking on there. And then I'm going to remove my tape. Best thing to do is kind of pull it back on itself. Go slow, okay? Just breathe. Very therapeutic, isn't it? Okay. Come on. There we go. Look how pretty. And if you did this in like in reds and the green, again, instant holiday card, right? Okay, let's grab the sentiment. So this one is, I'm here for you. Pop that down. Grab my favoritist of the black ink, which is the Obsidian. Hey, Mara. Okay. Actually, before I do that, I don't want to smudge it, so I'm just going to pop that over to the side. I am going to grab a ruler. I'm going to kind of pull that away from the edge. So we're going to kind of add a different layer, even though we're still making a one-layer card. Okay. So we've pulled that away from the edge. I'm just going to use a fine liner pen. This is number 1. And Matilda has used this one. So the nib on it isn't fabulous. Thanks, Till. But you can see that we've added that in. Oh. Trying to find the other one. But there we go. Let's try that one. Thanks, Tilly. Kids, right? All right. So let's try that again. This one's the brush one. I'm sorry, my head got in there again, but I was trying to cover that one up. Or I could have used an artist marker. I could have done that as well, but I didn't. Okay, so we have that line there. I'm going to put in another line. And this is just adding kind of an extra, I don't know, like a trick of the eye for people to think, oh, there's another layer there. But there's not, okay? There we go. Kind of pulled it forward a little bit. Grab my sentiment again. Obsidian. And we're going to snuggle that within those two lines. There we go. All right. So I'm going to lift this up now. Still a very flat card. Oops. So we can just add that on to a card base, and that's going to be good for mailing. Again, if you wanted to give this more of a holiday theme, swap out the purple colors for a red, and you're good to go. So there is the first card that we created. Took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but hey, it was worth it. Okay, so I'm just going to move some stuff over because we know as we're crafting, our crafting space tends to shrink. So I'm going to try my best to make it unshrink before I start. Okay, so even though my little girl did break my pen, she also embossed me a panel to work on. So, you know, I can't be mad. So we do already have a panel, and this is from the Craft Your Life Project Kit Watercolor Flowers. So with the kit, remember, you get the 6x8 stamp set, you get the 6x6 3D embossing folder, you get the simple coloring stencil set, which includes okay. I think we're back. Just let me know if you can see me. So we get the 6x8 stamp set, which includes the two large florals and lots of beautiful sentiments. Then we have the 6x6 3D embossing folder, and then we have the simple coloring stencil set. Again, 6 of those are all 6x6, various different layers. And then you also get the die set for this. And in the die set, you have the 2 dies for cutting out these large images. And then you also get little dies that cut out some of the larger sentiments in there as well. Okay. So what Tilly has done before we started was she took a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 Classic Crest Solar White 80-pound cardstock, popped it in the folder, and then, you know, when you pop this in the folder, you can actually have a play of where you want the image to be on your panel. Oops. So I'm just going to grab a panel. All right. So you don't necessarily always have to put it in, you know, nice and straight. And you can see where the image is there. You can actually use the little cutout that we have on the top to kind of get more of a movable around for where you want that to be. So have a play around. You can really get this in some really good places. It doesn't necessarily have to be dead on straight every time you do it. So hopefully that helps you with that. Now, the image on the 3D embossing folder is the same as one of the stamps. So this stamp that we have there is the same as this one. So if you wanted to, you could have stamped this image onto your cardstock and then embossed it. But I've just taken away the stamped elements, and we're just going to color in the embossed part. There. Okay. So we do have the layering guide within the packaging. So if you do need it, it is there for you to peruse and help you out. I'm just going to move that onto the side. sorry, it seems that I've got the hiccups today. And we have a stencils number 1, and I just love how they're etched in. So with some of our older ones, so we changed this because we got some feedback that people were having trouble kind of lining this up. But now we have the etched line on here. We now know that that's the front. There's been plenty of times when I'm trying to line things up and it wasn't quite fitting. Then I realized, if I just turned it over, everything would be fine. So there is that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this into place. Now, with these, because we kind of wanted a watercolor look, these are not going to fit perfectly. There are going to be places that kind of go off the lines a little bit. But don't worry, that's how they were supposed to be. And that's the look that was the designer was going for. Okay, so let's go. Let's go bright pink, shall we? Why not? So I have some baby pink here, and I'm just going to grab out my little blending tools. And this is going to take me a minute to color in this image. So remember, it's embossed. It's just been embossed using the 3D embossing folder onto some Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. So there's my base there. I'm going to move that down. And I'm going to go Mountain Mist for these ones. One of my favorite colors. Okay. I'm going to move that down. And this is going to line up with these flowers and also the flowers at the top. So the base layers you have to do separately, but these layers you don't. So for the pink flowers, I'm going to go fuchsia. I think I must have had more of a earthy tone pink on this because these flowers aren't as bright as I imagined they were going to be with these inks. But I'm not going to worry. Everything's going to be fine. Okay, and then a volcano lake. So these inks, the pink ones, are from the Spring Bouquet. And these tonally bluey teal colors are from the Seashore collection. So if you did want to bind them in the family, those are the ones that you're going to need to look for. Move that slightly over. Oops, that's getting in the way, so it's not going to let it lie nice and flat. So we're going to go magenta at the top. I do need a smaller blending tool to get those ones in, so I'm just going to use a mini. And a mini for these ones. And that's going to be the Lagoon. These colors together as well, these pinks and these blues, once you mix them, they create the beautifulest purple. It is very, very pretty. So you can see that we've created all of those layers. We have the layers for the flower centers too. Just going to be moving those around a little bit. We have some Snapdragon. If you wanted to as well, you could have used your markers just to dab those centers in, but I have the Snapdragon ink here, so push that ink through, move that over. See how quick that is. Roxy, yes, Okay, just give me a sec. Okay. So there we go. Roxy wants me to mix the colors because they are so pretty. Right. Let me just find a scrap piece of paper. There we go. So let's go with the mid tones of each of them. So fuchsia. Oops. I'm going to add some fuchsia down there. Just how pretty is that pink? Ugh. Reminds me of like bubble gum. Okay. And then the volcano lake. I always tend to go in from the right when I'm blending. It's probably because I'm right-handed. So if you need to kind of move your paper around, go for it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry. But you can see that beautiful kind of purpley color that you get. It reminds me of like a peacock feather, but yeah, it is so pretty. I'll let it dry and I'll bring that back in when I bring the other card in, okay? All right. Back onto this one. We should have stopped the stopwatch to see how long this one takes. All right, number 2. Okay, move that around and get that lined up. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a wiggle, especially when you're live. It feels like it takes an age to get things lined up when you're live. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go in with some bamboo. It's been a while since I've used my bamboo, so I'm quite glad that it's been dusted off for this one today. Okay. And then we're going to need the parrot. And I have used that today, so it shouldn't be too far away. But move that over. See, it just lines up perfectly. Oh, it's just too clever. Kathleen did an awesome job with this one. Okay. Ta-da! There's number 2. Oops. I dropped things. Okay. Number 3. Give it a wiggle around. There we go. No. If you sat at home thinking, yay, it's not just me that talks to stencils, I'm glad. I'm glad that I've, helped you know that it's normal to talk to your stencils. Okay, so once we have that, I'm going to go in with moss. Teresa, yay! Now you have the complete set again. I'm actually going to do that color combo again, that pink and blue. I think we've got a time for another card after we've done this one. Okay, so there is the moss down. We're only missing the olive. And that can go on this here. Okay, olive. Sue, it is easy, I promise. As soon as you get the hang of kind of lining these up, once you've got one stencil lined up, you just kind of shift it over the same way. Ooh, that's not the lid for that. That's just a separate ink. Oops. All right. Okay. I want to kind of leave it over so we can get the kind of reveal once we've added the sentiment. So I'm going to move that around so no one can see properly. Sentiment. Let's go with one of these. Wishing you a beautiful day. Yeah. I'm going to go with that one. Again, I'm going to be grabbing my favorite ink. I've got a feeling things are going to start falling. I have the Leaning Tower of Craft Supplies over at the side. And I'm just wondering how long it's going to survive. Okay. Okay, so wishing you a beautiful day. Put that on. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, ready? 2, 3. Ta-da! Just look how quick and beautiful that is. Also, remember, we've got that 3D embossing folder under that inking. So you do have that fabulous texture as well. Again, if you are after some really quick holiday cards, do these in red. Do this in kind of a creamy color. That's going to give you a holiday look as well. So that is 2 cards down. Still very different, but very pretty. And let's go for a 3rd card, right? We've got 15 minutes. I'm sure we're going to be able to create another card in 15 minutes. Okay, grab a card panel. This one's not planned. So hopefully it goes to the unplanned plan that I have. All right, so I have a card panel, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It is Classic Crest Solar White. I am going to be heat embossing, so I am going to use some anti-static powder, aka baby powder. It smells delicious. It's one of my favorite smells. Okay, and I do use quite a lot. I rub it on my hands. So also the oils on my hands have been neutralized as well. So if I do pick this up, I'm not going to leave any oily fingerprints anywhere because I have that on my hands as well. Tracy, I'm not sure. Oh, Tracy, yes, you could definitely put a jewel in the center or some enamel dots. Okay, so I have my anti-static powder down. It smells divine. I'm going to grab which stamp set? This one. The one that I can't pronounce. The Rosa Gallica. Gallica. I'm going with Gallica. All right. I'm going to add this on. All right. Let's move some things. Move some things. Move some things. Move some things. Okay. Okay. Oh, Sherry, I do. Even in my like little wax burner, I go for the baby powder smell. It smells so fresh and so clean. All right. So I'm just going to kind of nestle these in. So I've got them top and bottom. I have this little stamp pressy thing. You can definitely use your stamp positioning tool as well. Okay. I have to keep moving things out the way. All right, so I have some embossing ink. I do need a new one. This around the outside, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I think I over inked it and then I let it dry on top. It's not great. But still, it works. As long as it's sticky ink, we're good to go. Give it a good old squidge. Oops. Squidge, 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 squidge. Okay. Okay. All right. I made that look more hard work than it was. Sorry, everyone. So I'm going to pop that down. I am going to stand up so I can just make sure this has been nicely pressed. You could use a stamp pad to kind of go over the top. But I've just got this kind of like chopping action going. Yeah, it works for me, so I'm going with it. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! I'm going to grab in that sheet we used for masking before. And I'm going to go with some pure white embossing powder. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't worry about putting too much on. Sorry about the glare, everyone. It will knock off. It's only going to stick to the ink that we've put down. I'm not sure what's happening with that glare. Maybe it's not liking that piece of paper. But now it's not liking this piece of paper now. Okay. And I am going to get rid of some light. Hopefully that helps. And I'm going to heat set. Kind of start from the bottom, and then when that starts going, I move to the top. And that reduces the amount of powder that can go kind of flying. I did squidge a little bit over on this one. Okay, and I used our pure white embossing powder, sorry, for that. I'm sorry about the glare. I don't know what happened. We were fine up until this point. I brought a piece of paper in and my camera decided, oh, let's just do glare now. So I am sorry. And I'm gonna kind of tip that in there because I will, you know, get that everywhere. Right. Okay, maybe let's try and figure this out. Maybe if we're a little bit darker, I am sorry, but I want you to kind of see what's going on. So we have that embossed image on there. I'm not happy. Can we see what's happening? Maybe if I move them out. Yes, okay. It didn't like those over there. So, okay, I have my image and I'm going to be using my little grid lines on here to mask out the outside. So I'm just going to line it up on some of those lines. And again, we're going to be using our satin masking tape. Now this lasts forever, okay? I've had mine, oh, I don't know, when did we come out with it? And I don't think I'm halfway through it yet. And I'm going to go up 3 blocks on my mat. So that is 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to go 3/4 on this too. So again, 3 blocks. I mean, you could definitely do an inch, but that little 1/4 of an inch that we've got around the outside, just keeping it nicely in place. So I'm going to go 3 blocks. That's 1, 2, 3. You can line up one edge and then the other. Oh, there you go. Oops, that's not it. And there we go. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. That's our third Okay, so we're going to grab those colors from before. So I have the baby pink. Because I'm doing such a large area, I am going to grab my large blending tools. So I do use a mix of the blending tools in my crafting. And this is going to give me, the colors that we're going to use is going to give me like a fairy garden kind of feel. So if you are, you know, fairy-like and like fairy tales, this may be a color combo for you. So I've just added some of that baby pink in. I'm then going to grab another large blending tool that I've got for my teals. Thank you for joining us, everyone, and thank you so much for sharing. It's lovely to know that you guys love that. I do want the volcano lake, so that's that. I'm going to add that to the places that I've left. Oh. And where these colors mix, we're going to get a fabulous purple color. And I know that you guys know that I tend not to use a whole lot of purple in my crafting, but this purple is stunning. So I am going to add a bit of that pink to the edge of this teal color just to add that purple vibe. And I'm going to add some lagoon in too, to add some darker tones. Not too much. And the same for the pink. So I want that fuchsia. But it seems to have gone to play somewhere else, so I'm going to go in with the magenta as well. Oh, a little bit brighter than I imagined, but hey, okay. So if you're not happy with your blending, you can definitely kind of tone it down with some splatter, water splatter as well. Okay, so we're going to pull this down. You could always wipe this tape off as well and then reuse it. Just going to put it on the edge of my mat because I don't like my tape to go to waste. All you'd need to do, I think this would be amazing if you had a sentiment that was white heat embossed on black and then added a couple of black enamel dots just to kind of add in a really great contrast on there as well. Could I add some white splatter too? But, okay, but look. There we go. Look how pretty and ethereal that looks. So that is with the pinks from the Spring Garden set and also my favorites from the Seashore collection. I'm just going to kind of move some stuff over now. All right. Okay, so we've created 3 cards near enough. All we need is a little bit of a sentiment on this one and some enamel dots. So that one was using the Crafter Flower Rosa Gallica. Then we had the project kit, so the Craft Your Life project kit watercolor flowers was used for this one. And then this one here was the Mini Delight budding wallpaper. So we did manage to squeeze 3 cards in for today. I'm going to move you guys up now. I am trying to move stuff off my computer so I can actually get to the buttons. You know, things get just put everywhere when you crafting. We all know this. So that is what happened. So thank you everyone for joining me. I really do hope that you have been a little bit inspired today to go to your craft area, pull out some things and get creating. Thank you to the lovely Han for popping in all of the links. thank you again for spending some time with me. I really do hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you again really, really soon. See you soon. Bye.